All right, here we are with the woman who is our newest Survivor winner. Congratulations, Kenzie.
Thank you, Rob. It's so good to be here. How are you?
I am so excited to get the chance to talk to you. Congratulations on your game and your win. It was super fun to watch, and I'm thrilled for you.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
And congratulations on your big announcement as well. Congratulations for your baby that's coming.
Yes. Yeah. Baby boy in September. So it's all coming full circle.
What a year. What a year
I
it's going to
know.
be. Anyway,
It's a
so
drummer.
Kenzie, so much to get to. I know we only have a little bit of time today, but I would just love to know from you, how different was the game that you ended up playing different than the game you expected to come into Survivor and play?
I don't think it was that much different. I knew I was gonna come in and be positive and make a bunch of friends and make a bunch of connections. And I'm just glad that that's what got me through the end and ultimately brought home the W. Yeah.
Yeah. Were you surprised at the outcome? Did you feel like going into Final Drop Council that you had it?
I felt like going into it, I had it. And then there was a point in the middle where Ben and Charlie both were just giving such good answers, and the jury was responding really positively that I was like, uh-oh, like I've got to step it up. And then Ben would answer one and it was like a perfect answer. And I was like, and then Charlie would answer one and it was another perfect answer. And I was like, I have got to get it. I have got to fight right now. Like this is the final step.
Kenzie,
So in the middle there, I was a little like,
Kenzie, I've been thinking all morning about your win and your road to the end. And I think it's so interesting because I think that a bunch of the things that were probably really frustrating to you over the course of your game were things that I think ultimately helped you get the win.
oh, I agree 100%. I think Yanu really was such a battle for me that and there were so many like contentious relationships between like Q and I and Q and everyone. And I had been with him since the beginning. It was just very complicated, but I feel like I got like the crash course in Survivor. It was like everybody's going for everyone immediately from day one. Like buckle up and play.
Do you feel like that being with Q for so much of the game kind of stifled what you were able to do in the game?
I don't think it stifled it at all. I think it showed me where I could fit in. I was like, okay, that's not working. I'm not included in this. Where else can I go? I think saying you're stifled in Survivor is just not adapting. And I think that was a lot of my game, was just adapting to who was willing to work with me and who I was getting along with and who else was getting left out of stuff. And that's ultimately like how the gathering of the goats, as Ben coined it, came together.
Yeah.
Was,
And I don't mean stifling in a negative way, because that from my
okay.
perspective, and tell me if I'm misreading this, that I kind of feel like that in a different universe where Q isn't there being such a distraction, I feel like that more people are waking up to the fact, oh my God, Kenzie is a big threat and we're letting her get very far in this game.
Oh, Q was a perfect shield. Are you kidding me? He was perfect. I came into the merge, everyone thinking I was the mermaid dragon. And
The
then
mastermind.
Q, the mastermind, getting away with murder, I think Ben said. And I was able to like hide my threat level, partially A from like my social game, but partially B because Q was like such a big distraction for multiple things, blindsides and what a big threat I was.
At the final nine, this came up at the final tribal council. You had wanted to blindside Tiffany. You felt like that was going to be a big move for your resume. Ultimately, that did not come together. She gets blindsided on the next vote without you. Do
Yeah.
you feel like that had you at the final nine gone and blindsided Tiffany, would you have ended up in the end and ultimately the winner?
I think the target would have been on me for that blind side.
Mm-hmm.
And I think regardless if I floated Tiff's name, she was going. Like I was blindsided by it, but watching it back and like seeing it, I'm like, there were people that wanted Tiff gone, and I kind of like hopped on board more so than like we should get Tiff out. And then I was like, wait, this is stupid. Tiff is working with me. She has the idol. We know where it is. Like this is dumb. And all that did was make me look dumb for floating my number one's name. when I think even if I wouldn't have said her name, the same results would have happened. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like she still would have gone home. I still would have been left out of it. Like the same thing would have happened. I just looked dumb for floating her name.
Kenzie, something that lives rent free in my head
Yeah.
is that your story of getting involved with Survivor was during the pandemic. You went to go to your psychic to go get toilet paper, who happened to have it all stored and hoarded. Okay. And then she was watching Survivor on television. And you said, what is this show looks interesting? What is this?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now here you are at the end of this journey. And this completely changes the way I look at the universe, this entire story.
I'm so happy that I could enlighten you to some alternate
She
thinking.
knew. She knew.
I know. She was with me last night. She was like, I knew it.
Wow. This is
She
amazing.
did say, like, you did it all. She was like, because I was like, I wouldn't have done this without you, thank you. And she was like, Spirit was looking out for you. You did it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope I'm sure your business is booming, but make sure you get some recommendations for her.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. One of the things that came up during the season was that when Randon got medically evacuated, that certainly from Q's perspective, he implied it was going to be you that went home. Another, the universe, the spirits are looking out for you. Is that true? Do you think you would have gone home if Yanu had gone to tribal council that night?
It's hard to say.
Especially with Banu not having a vote.
It's hard to say. I really don't think Tiff was voting for me. And it's hard to say a year later, like what would have happened, but I don't think it would have been me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So they said last night that the votes changed hands. A bunch of people changed their votes at the final tribal council. Ultimately, you ended up getting Maria's vote. How surprised were you that you got Maria's vote?
Oh, I was very surprised. I mean, everyone was, people are still surprised. I think it just speaks to, you never know who on the jury is going to decide what, for what reason. You just have to speak true, own your game, honest from the heart. That's what I did. Something in what I said resonated with everyone who voted for me. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for it, yeah, I'm just shout out Maria for that vote. Shout out everybody. But yeah.
So after Tiffany ended up going home and you were blindsided by that, that's really an inflection point in your game, because that's when you end up working with Ben and Charlie and Liz, and then the rest of the way, you four just run the table to ultimately become the final four in the game. Did you know as soon as that vote was happening against Venus that this is the group?
Yeah, definitely. It was the group for me. I knew that. What were my other options? Q and Maria, I would have lost against both of them. Like the only way I saw forward at that time was with my friends, with Charlie, Liz, and Ben. And we were all just getting along really well. And I think that goes a long way too. Like we really came together and made it happen. And we were such an unassuming group, because none of us were really like the loud ones. We had been left out of so much. And really, those are the people you have to look out for, because we came together and we ran it.
At the final tribal council, it came up that Hunter said that you were the one that convinced him to not play the idol. And that was such a confusing vote for us at home in trying to process everything that was going on. Did any part of you want Hunter to stay at that point? That he talked about how you and he had built a close relationship.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's hard about Survivor is I had actually told Hunter to play his idol at camp. And then when we got to tribal, that I couldn't attach my train to Hunter when everyone wanted him gone. Does that make sense? So I was like, I've got to play both sides. If Hunter plays it, I'm still good with Hunter. But if he doesn't, I'm good with everybody else. I'm playing both the middle here. And I did want him to stay because I loved Hunter, but he was such a big threat that if I would have attached myself to Hunter, he couldn't carry us both through the game. And it would have been him and I against everybody who wanted him gone.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about what it's been like for you at work, having all of this Survivor success?
It's been interesting. My clients are fun. I work in a very public place, so there have just been like people coming in the salon, which it's a place of business. I just want everyone to remember that people on your TV are not just like constantly accessible to you.
Hmm.
We're working, we have lives, we have jobs. So please just be respectful of your reality TV stars. It's been weird.
Were there any parts of your game that we didn't get to see this season that you feel like would be helpful to help us know about?
I think so much of my game wasn't flashy. So much of my game was literally just sitting at camp and talking. And there's so much of that that's not shown because it's boring to show an hour-long conversation about Harry Potter. Like that's not going to make the cut. Or an hour-long conversation about dogs, and that really was so much of my game. I really got to know a little bit about everyone and a lot of people, like that really is, I think, how I made it to the end.
Were there any moments in the final tribal council that somebody came in particularly hot?
I think everybody was hot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was the pressure or what, but everybody was coming in hot. And it was when Q was trying to gaslight me about the Tim thing.
Yeah.
Which
But
is
you
so
got his vote. Were you
intentional.
surprised that ultimately you went back and forth with Q at final tribal council, but he voted for you?
Yeah, I was surprised, but at the same time, like I know Q very well, and I was like, Q is gonna respect honesty and respect a hustle. And I was like, look, I'm not gonna bullshit you about the money. I'm spending it on myself. And Q was like, it's like, okay, got
He
him.
said that was the reason why he voted for you. He said that was the
Yeah.
only reason for his vote, the answer to his question, and he didn't care about what anybody else said.
Yeah, yeah. And I didn't say that. That is what I'm doing with the money. I didn't say that to get Q's vote, but I also know how to communicate with Q. So I was like, all right, he's
Yeah.
not gonna respect me if I like back down to him barking at me. Like I have to bark back. Like he's gonna respect that whether he believes me or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You had been with him for so long. You knew how he ticked.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, kinda. I tried.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Kenzie, this spot in life is, you have all these blessings coming your way, but then on the other hand, that people are talking about going back for anniversary seasons of Survivor. Do you feel like are you retired? Are you retired for now for Survivor? Are you wait and see?
I'm pretty retired. I'm like, I had a good run. I still don't know how Twitter works, so I deleted that. It was fun while it lasted. I got everything I wanted out of the island. I got the
Yeah.
letters, I got the sanctuary, I got the friends, I got the million. Like I had such a full and wonderful and beautiful experience. I don't know what else there's
That's
left
such
for
a
me to
beautiful attitude. It's like
thank
when you're
you.
up at the casino, just leave.
Yeah, I would love to see my friends win it,
Yeah.
I don't want to take it from them again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. Well, Kenzie, I know you have a super busy day here today, but I appreciate you making some time for us. Again, we're so happy over here for your win. My wife asked me to say to that she wanted me to tell you that she loves you and she hates everybody. Not your cast, just in general. She hates most people, but
Oh,
she loves you.
that is really special to me.
I wish I could hear something like that.
I, yeah, sorry, Rob. My husband did not say that about you. Oh, but
Yep.
no, I would love to chat with your lovely wife at some
Okay.
point.
All right.
Yeah.
Kenzie,
Tell her I said hi.
congratulations again. All the best to you and your family, and great job all season.
Thank you so much, Rob.